Hey, Robin.
Hey, Nino, how's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good. Imagine this is in regards to the Marty situation.
No, has he spoken to you about
that? Yeah, how do I, oh shit, hold on. Oh, there you are. Hey, I'm gonna give you these stacks and we're gonna have to talk later.
All right, you got it.
There you go. I appreciate you.
You got it. I'll spread it thin and wide, all right?
Easy. And if anyone's got any questions, they can give me a call in regards to those things. All right,
you got
easy.
it, Mr. Chavez.
Appreciate you.
We'll talk soon, huh?
All right.
Have a good day.
Yeah, the way that it was explained to me yesterday, it sounded like there was a lot of collusion taking place, but after now actually deep diving it with them, and looking over the ballot posting, I don't really think there's collusion. I think it's consequence of a limited number of justices. Actually, I don't even know how much you know about this case. How much,
not sure. Collusion? I haven't heard anything about, like, the ballots or anything.
Oh, fuck me. Okay. Do you want to meet? Well, what did you want to talk about? Let's stop there.
Yeah, I just submitted a business proposal for the law firm. I don't know if there's anything more that I need to do for that.
I will review it.
For your side?
Yep,
okay.
I will review it. I'm trying not to do anything during election week because I think ethically...
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that makes sense. Don't want to, like, approve something with someone and then they vote for you. It makes sense.
Exactly. In regards to the Marty situation, let me chop it up the way that what I'm aware of is my understanding is that you are taking on that case, but I don't know how much they've spoken to you about it. So the TLDR is this, and you told me about some of this, I think, is... So there's a whole thing with the Rocco guy, right? So, Rocco ends up selling his property to Marty, and now he's dead, right? And so now Beric has appealed the double jeopardy ruling on the docket.
Yeah, I don't agree with that, but yeah.
1,000%. The first concern that pops up is there is no, based on my reading of it, it sounds like, hey, I don't believe this is double jeopardy. Please appeal, bro. And there's
that's exactly it.
Which is fucking dumb as fuck because
I agree.
Like, if you, why are you not, don't appeals need to actually show the argument? Because otherwise it's a waste of the court's time, right?
So I think that's what Angel did. I think Angel looked at it and said, judges can handle it. Like, judges can hear the appeal.
So maybe, yeah, but hear the appeal. Why is there even a hearing before there's a, like, statement, like, not a statement of claim, or but whatever you want to call it, right? Like
yeah, I don't know why he didn't articulate his... Yeah, I don't know why he didn't articulate that on the docket.
Yep. Now, so...
But basically, I think there's going to be a hearing, like, where I'm going to say this is why it's not, and he's going to say why it is.
Yeah, which is, in my opinion, kind of fucked because you cannot prepare a counter argument because you don't know what the fuck he's about to say, right? I mean, you can kind of, but you can't fully, right?
Yeah.
So the second point of contention that I personally had is the looseness of the definition of citizen in the reference to how an appeal is handled. Not a big fan of it.
Yeah, that was something I was going to bring up on the docket, but I'm saving it for the hearing.
You and I are like similar mind, it seems. It's crazy.
Yeah, because while the marshal himself may be a citizen, he's acting on behalf of a state entity.
Exactly. So I read that, I'm like, what the fuck? How is this even valid to begin with? Like, there needs to be something that outlines appeal processes for law enforcement agencies. Not,
I agree.
But now here's the concerning bit, which is, well, this ruling might open up a lot of fucking, like, spider webs.
Yeah.
So now,
it might.
I've referenced it like, it's like Citizens United, but for the police department. Because now police departments are citizens. So what else are they now granted ipso facto?
Yeah. It's, it's going to be an interesting one, and I hope a sensible judge takes it.
Yeah, because if they end up ruling on it and it becomes precedence, yikes.
Yeah, like what I think should happen is the appeal should be dismissed, and then they make a case law or an amendment or whatever to outline how a law enforcement agency can appeal stuff.
1,000%, 1,000% then the next bit, right now, this guy is dead. Who's gonna handle? How is it gonna be handled, right? So hopefully his original lawyer, which I'm assuming is you, can actually appear, right? Which I believe you should have the right to, because the outcome still affects his
estate.
Correct. Yes. If they don't, that is the argument, is that you need to be able to defend for his estate, even though estates aren't defined. Who cares? Like, it just makes sense. Then comes the next thing. If they then decide that they're going to hear this out, this now directly affects Marty Banks, because he is now the owner. I told him, do not, if it does happen, he's probably fucked, because if effectively Rocco was found guilty and the property becomes the state's possession, it's going to be very similar to the state possessing a vehicle that was sold after the possession request or whatever. It was never Rocco's to sell.
I basically think if it goes at least some way in the marshal's favor, they're losing the warehouse. Now the funny thing is, when Rocco was still alive, I was negotiating a plea deal to where they could keep the warehouse, but under really strict conditions. But that never came to fruition.
Yeah, that's too bad. I think appeals, like, I mean, Tilly's case is tonight in an hour, and no appeal came out of that, and I don't even fucking know. I told them to drop it on LSPD because that, I don't know. It's the whole thing is fucking crazy.
You know that Riker got diverted, and the judge never even spoke to us about it as the prosecution.
What?
Yeah, so apparently he asked for the diversion program, like, afterwards. Because remember, it was a delayed verdict, so he asked for the diversion program, like, away from us, away from the prosecution. The judge asked another marshal that wasn't Angel, because Angel was the one that investigated this, and then the marshal just said, yeah, that's fine. So then we went to Weiss and we're like, well, how are we not looped into this at all?
That is so cooked.
Yeah, and this was when that when Dominic Rhodes got charged for his, and he asked for the diversion program, and Judge Weiss asked the marshals if they were okay with it. So then me and Tony looked at Riker's record and we seen it was gone, so we had asked the judge, and he's like, yeah, he got diverted.
I don't understand. So there should have been, I feel like diversion should require impact statements. Yeah. Because the impact was not just to Tilly. Oh my God, that is so fucked.
Yeah, like Tony was ripping into the judge. He's like, this guy had a position of power, he abused it. Like, why are we just letting that be gone from his record?
Tilly's case, you just reminded me. They asked if there should be a motion to compel. That needs to be accepted so that any statements pertaining to Slacks are not considered hearsay.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah, because if they don't do that and then he doesn't show, or it's like, I don't know. But anyways, next bit. So apparently weapons manufacturing got altered.
Yes,
I know this is a laundry list, by the way.
No, fine.
I can pretty confidently say it would have occurred after the 9th, which is the last DOJ announcement that included charges. And so probably in the last like 6 to 7 days, that charge changed. It seems to go very coincidingly with this court case, which in and of itself is concerning, right? Now, concerning in the following respect. It is reasonable in my mind that a judge sees this case, has to rule on it, and is like, I wonder what weapons manufacturing is. And then they subsequently say, oh, this doesn't, this is actually scuffed. Let me fix this. That makes sense. But, and I think the argument that Marty had, which I agreed with yesterday, but after diving into it, I don't know if I buy it.
Yeah.
Is the argument is that this court case, they used it to change the charge and then allowed it to go back on the docket in a attempt to collude. I don't think it is likely collusion, and if there is, there's no way to recede it. But my concern, and I think the reason I told Marty he should push anyways, is because really there's no reason why the DOJ does not maintain an audit trail. Because it would just be copy pasting it into a document for people to see. Because without that, imagine Tilly's court case today. Where the fuck are they going to get all the charges from 4 months ago? You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
So you need that record, because otherwise it opens up for post facto charges.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll give you an example. I don't know if you're familiar, the Bruce Baylor case. Basically, long story short, he got raided. He had like some gun components and some ammo blueprints, so they're charging him with weapons manufacturing. I tried to get it dismissed because at the time of the raid, the additional stuff in weapons manufacturing wasn't in there, and it only said had the means to produce weapons. So I tried to get it dismissed. But they also tried to charge him for like 16 times illegal blueprints, and that charge didn't exist at the time of the raid. So I got those dismissed. So it seems the DOJ, they have their head screwed on if you point it out, like.
That I agree with, though. Weapons manufacturing, in my opinion, is hyper-cooked now. It is now outlined that if you
Perhaps too easy to get.
It's not even easy. It doesn't make any sense. So if do you have a tablet open?
Yeah.
Any person that is shown to be manufacturing illegal weapons, this can be proven directly through testimony or other evidence. I'm good with that. This charge will be applied constructively to any individual found in possession of the means proven to be capable of manufacturing illegal weapons, such as crafting bench, So I hope this is not the intent, but the way that this is written grammatically, it is inferring that if you have a blueprint, it's not even inferring, it's grammatically saying that if you have a blueprint, you can be charged with weapons manufacturing. A blueprint of a weapon, which is not enough. It's So what it
I can see that interpretation.
What it should say is that these are, if they have the contraband or something necessary, contraband including Because if you just have a fucking bench, it doesn't. Like, first off, I don't even think there's weapon benches, which is already
there's benches that can be used to craft anything.
Exactly. You need a couple things. So, like, I can understand if a blueprint was in a bench, right? Because they have two pieces of contraband in conjunction can be used to manufacture. But just having, right now, having a fucking blueprint, which a lot of people may run into, is not enough. Yeah. That doesn't mean shit.
Like in Marty's case, there was a bench, there was blueprints in the bench, and then there was guns elsewhere in the warehouse. So that's like pretty dead on. Like, you're gonna need like really good defense to try and beat that.
Yes,
because they actually had the blueprint for the gun and the guns in the warehouse and the bench.
Yep. 1,000 fucking %. But I think that kind of going back to where Marty was coming from, he really wanted to impeach Angel over it. And please do have a chat with him. Let him know that we discussed. But I did tell them this. I said, I don't think Angel did this to fuck you. I think this is, now seeing it, this is a consequence of them just not having justices. But I do think there is merit to say that the system leads to unfair outcomes due to what I would call not enough foundation being laid out for how processes should exist.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so,
like, what probably happened is the marshals investigated all this stuff, went to Angel and said, hey, we're finding all this stuff and it doesn't really fit this because that's too low. It doesn't really, you know. So they probably just said, can we maybe add this to weapons manufacturing? And she did.
Yep.
Like, I don't think there was malicious intent, but I do agree the system could be improved.
Exactly. And I think that what they should do is point out these concerns in, whether it be on the docket, whether it be in court, and then that will at least let the system improve. And while that may not be the home run they're looking for, every person in the city needs to be fighting those kind of battles. Otherwise, the system does not get better. But then again, I will say that that what I just described has been a problem since the dawn of time. Like, you know what I mean?
That's fair.
Most cases, people want to see guilty, not guilty, in jail and not jail, and everything in between is like kind of like even though that you know, even though it's more impactful, quite frankly. So anyways, all right, but yeah,
all right, I'll see if I can reach out to Marty. I don't know if he's awake right now, but
okay,
at least I'll give him a text and let him know we've spoken.
Easy. All right, brother. Appreciate you,
take
Robin.
care,
If you
Nino.
need anything, you too.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.